Guys, my name is Rage and we are back today with the next node here of Dark Dimension 4, going forward with the city nodes here. So I'll quickly show you guys my roster that I've utilized for my symbiotes, and then it's going to be a continuation of my previous 4 characters, but I'll just quickly show you guys what I have built here in terms of T4s and gear level. So as you can see, Venom with his special and ultimate being T4'd. We also got a level 3 ISO 8 striker there. Next, we got Symbiote Spider-Man, capitalizing on his basic, ultimate, as well as his passive T4s, as well as a level 5 Raider for the ISO 8. Next, we got Anti-Venom here. Actually, all of his T4s maxed out. Just an amazing character overall, great kit, and just provides immense value to the Symbiote roster. As well, a level 4 ISO 8 Striker. And then last but not least, to round off my roster, it is going to be Scream, as you can see here with the T4s on both for special and ultimate, as well as a level 4 ISO 8 Skirmisher to apply the vulnerability. That's my full roster right there. So with that being said, let's dive right into the gameplay.
Now, if you guys haven't already, please go ahead and check out Dutch Redder's Dark Dimension 4 guide. I will be referencing it just to follow along for this visual reference. Reason being, his guide is extremely nice just to be able to navigate in terms of understanding which characters are going to be in each wave that we face up against, which ones have the repeatable abilities, and which ones we should be targeting prior to the next wave starting off. So you can see at the beginning here, you guys, Hawkeye, Vision, and Namor all are going to have the opportunity to actually repeat their abilities, which is a new feature in Dark Dimension 4. On top of that, we're also next to a Yo-Yo, Groot, Spider-Man, as well as a Gamora prior to her being empowered. So that being said, you guys, we do have quite a big cluster here to mess around with, but so as long as we target the right characters, we'll be in good shape. Now, something I would recommend at the beginning is just using Symbiote Spider-Man to apply some sort of defense down, as you can see, because that chains up with Anti-Venom's ultimate there to actually give our team the force defense up. You know, sometimes Venom may not have the full 90% HP above, so therefore it may not trigger, but that's why we have Anti-Venom's abilities. And from the beginning, I am actually going to target Hawkeye, as you can see, putting all the negative conditions on him. Ideally, I would have liked to stun him and extend it, but unfortunately, the ability block landed on my symbiote, so I wasn't able to do anything there. But Hawkeye would be the first character definitely to target. And fortunately with symbiotes, if you have at least 3 or 4 of them, it's going to make this node quite easy, just because of the fact that the difficulty is not too bad. So as long as you have good synergy, even Night Nurse for this node would give really good sustainability. But I got lucky having 4 symbiotes, so you bet I'm going to fully take advantage of that. And so as long as you have the opportunities to constantly keep using the defense up capabilities, as you can see with Anti-Venom, turning all those negative conditions into positive buffs for us. Venom's also going to have the opportunity to apply defense up. We got really good sustainability thanks to Symbiote Spider-Man's passive of the entire team getting that drain, especially being in Dark Dimension. So should be quite straightforward. Try to keep your attacks really localized and really focused on the key targets, in this case being Hawkeye, just due to the fact that if we're able to at least focus our damage, we can maximize that offensive output. And as well, just keep in mind, you know, characters that have their turns upcoming, we can apply offense down. Ability block characters that have abilities ready to go. So in this case, I am saving Venom's ability there. I could have ability block, but I wanted to finish off Hawkeye. And now we can go ahead and start targeting. Gamora is the next target here, as per Dutch Redder's guide, because of the fact that she does a lot of damage. And honestly speaking, once she's down, I would just focus on damage dealers such as Namor, Spider-Man. Both Vision and Groot don't really do much damage, so I would definitely leave them for last. And the nice thing about this wave is we can actually finish off all of them before the next wave spawns. And fast forwarding for your guys' convenience, you can see here that Groot and Yo-Yo are the 2 that are left, just because, again, they don't do a lot of damage, and we finished off Vision first before these 2, just due to the fact that he's got the ability block. But when you get to this stage where there's only 2 of them left, this definitely would be a great time to start saving up energy, because the next wave, we are going to have a couple of cables that we do need to deal with that can also repeat their abilities. So just be mindful of that. Try not to expend anything. Really take your time with this wave until they're ready to go down. Now with this next wave, you're going to see we're up against Rhino, 2 cables that can repeat their specials, Thor, Captain Marvel, and as well as Rescue. So really the first thing in my opinion is stopping any kind of additional healing that they got and cleansing. So we're going to stun Rescue first in the beginning, and we're going to do a couple things actually. We're going to take advantage of that stun thanks to Anti-Venom's ultimate here and being able to give us the positive buffs, as you can see, being flipped. And on top of that, we're actually going to use Scream's ultimate here to also reduce all of their speed meter. and finish that off by actually using Venom's ultimate here by spreading all those negative conditions. So now you can see just using all those ultimates, they have this plethora of negative conditions, and that's exactly what you want to do, because now we have the advantage. They don't have any characters that can cleanse, especially with rescue being disabled. We finish off one rescue here, and then keep in mind we are able to take down one more enemy. Unlike the first wave, by taking down one more, it is actually going to spawn another 3 minions, being Scarlet Witch, Vision, and Graviton that we'll be up against. So you want to be kind of smart with who you take out. Personally, I recommend another Cable after rescue, just due to the fact that he's got that repeatability in terms of using his special. Also, Cables usually have higher end damage, so generally they're really good targets to aim for. Go ahead, finish off one of those Cables, and you're going to see, like I said, Scarlet Witch, Vision, and Graviton do spawn now, and we'll take full advantage of that by using Scream's ultimate to once again reduce their speed meter. But now we can actually focus off on finishing one of the other Cables. And the nice thing about this wave now is you bet we are able to go ahead and finish off this cluster before the next wave actually spawns for us. Really, at this point, I would focus on just finishing up and cleaning up the characters that are weaker, such as Cable, Thor, getting them out of the way, so that way it cleans up the board and we can actually refocus our damage here. And honestly speaking, once they're cleaned up, we can, I would say, focus on Graviton, just because he's got the slow and the stun. And really try to aim for Rhino being the last character. But definitely Captain Marvel and Graviton would definitely be the priorities. Just due to the fact that they have Disable and higher damage than, let's just say, Rhino and Vision and Scarlet Witch. As you can see, just slowly cleaning up the board here. And really for me, Scarlet Witch was going to be the last character for me. He's like, again, you can have her or Rhino. They definitely do the least amount out of this cluster. So going ahead and just saving up your energy once again, because we're going to get another cluster here of the next wave. So you can see here, now starting off, we're going to be up against another Graviton, Killmonger, a Hawkeye that can repeat his abilities, an Ebony Maw that can repeat his special, Killmonger, Thor, as well as another Spider-Man that can repeat the ability. So definitely a more dangerous cluster, that's for sure, especially seeing that the Ebony Maw starts off with the immunity. So makes it a little annoying in that sense, because we want to use the stun on him, but you know, at the same time, we can't just let a stun go unnoticed. So we're going to fully take advantage of that later on. And then finally, you see Ebony Maw's immunity hit goes down, and I do actually go ahead and stun him, because we just don't want him using his special to give his team defense up. And now we can fully take advantage of just doing damage, and at the same time chaining our attacks to Graviton, because both Ebony Maw and Graviton would be the targets that we want to aim for in this initial wave here. And as you can see, with enough harass, I am actually able to finally finish off Ebony Maw as my first target here. And the reason why we want to be so picky in this wave is because of the fact that there's another wave that drops actually with Cable, Rescue, as well as Captain Marvel. That's why we need to be really specific in this wave when we have the opportunity to do so. Meanwhile, as you see, if I get an opportunity, I am going to mitigate damage dealers such as Hawkeye, really kind of making sure they can't move, and then also reducing their speed meter, because again, we just want as much of an advantage as possible, extending that with Symbiote Spider-Man special, giving it an extra turn. Absolutely beautiful, giving our team continual buffs, because again, the next enemy that drops is going to start that additional cluster of 3 characters being added to this wave. So you either want to weaken this wave, or you want to just make sure you're set up for a good position, such as having a lot of buffs, a lot of negatives on them, giving us any kind of advantage once they actually spawn to join this cluster. Now you can see I didn't go according to plan, because I was actually aiming for Graviton. So the wave already did spawn, because I accidentally finished off Hawkeye. As you can see, wasn't my intention. It was just to blind him, slow him down. But now that we don't have a choice with these guys being here, especially Rescue having the cleanse, I am just targeting all my damage on Graviton, and then following Graviton, you bet it's going to be Rescue. There we go, and we finally finish off Graviton. And now that I got Symbiote Spider-Man stun, very perfect timing here. I do focus on Rescue, because again, she's got that cleanse, right? And we just don't want to make sure that she's not burying her up or cleansing these negative conditions, especially given how potent they are on the enemies. And if you guys are able to actually stun her, really at this point, you got to keep in mind, finishing up this wave spawns the next and final wave. So really just focus on cleaning up. I guess in this case, you know, characters such as Cable, Thor, slowly chipping away at Rescue,
Definitely this is a great time now because they got a lot of negative conditions. We can keep applying our damage and chain attacking, so just absolutely love how beautiful the synergy of the symbiotes are, because the moment we take them down, we just get buffs as well thanks to Scream's passive, and it just goes on and on. You know, anti-venom giving the buffs, flipping the negatives, venom being able to ability block. So, and you know, absolutely beautiful synergy here. Really, in this cluster, it's about extending the negative conditions, as you'll see right here, and just cleaning up the board. And honestly, if done correctly, you should have the top left cluster remaining, which is consisting of Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Cable, and Killmonger. They have higher damage, but you know, really, thanks to those negative conditions, they're not doing much. You know, the defense down, the slow, the heal blocks. You know, really at this point, just focus on cleaning up until you get to the last two, and then save up energy as per usual. And just based on how my damage is being done, you can see Captain Marvel was actually the last character left alive. And again, if you would have it under control, because constantly we'll have the benefits thanks to anti-venom, and then venom also providing natural defense up if the health bar meets the threshold. So with this last wave, you guys, it is Spider-Man, Vision, Rhino, a Graviton that can repeat his special, a Thor, Killmonger, and then a Scarlet Witch that can only repeat her ultimate. So in terms of sustainability, she's not going to do much. The key target is going to be, once again, the stunner and slower being Graviton here. So that's why we go ahead and stun him first, and then start our rampage here. And then always when you get a chance with Symbiote Spider-Man, definitely extend that stun an extra turn. And at this point, once you have these conditions pretty much set up, it's a pretty sweet sailing from here for this last wave. Go ahead here, and once again extend the negative condition. The bleed actually takes out Graviton. Once a Graviton's down, actually, I would just focus on damage dealers. This can be include characters that can repeat their abilities, such as Scarlet Witch, who can actually repeat her ultimate. So that is the one that's recommended in the guide, just due to the fact that her ability can be repeated. And then Vision's the one that has an ability block too. So those would be, in my opinion, the high priority targets. But thankfully, this note's quite straightforward. These characters don't really do much damage. So at this point, especially given how many negative conditions there are, it's really just about cleaning up the board. And as you can see here, finishing off Vision before Spider-Man and Rhino here. These two are the last two on my side. So at this point, when there's two, rinse and repeat, right? Make sure you're just using the basic ability for your characters. We just get enough natural buffs thanks to Venom's defense up when you meet that health. And as well, we're just able to basic and save our energy, build it up for the next node, especially with it being the infamous node 12 that it's going to take a lot of attacks, it's going to take a lot of attempts, but we're going to be at least starting off with a full symbiote squad here, being the 4, as well as having their energy refreshed and, you know, being ready for battle. And here we go. The bleed actually naturally takes out Rhino. And once again, you guys, you know, another one-shot out of 10 here. The only one I have not been able to one-shot was the last node of Cosmic, where it did take me 2 attempts. But so far, in Dark Dimension 4, everything has been 1 attempt, which has been very, very reasonable, especially given this comparison with Dark Dimension 3. And as you can see here, Mission 11, 1 attack, 41.42 million. Another one-shot attempt. So glad I was able to capture this on video for you guys as well. Before we start off, the most infamous node here in Dark Dimension 4. Again, it's going to take me a lot of tries, I already know, based on what I've seen from other content creators. But as per usual, you guys, I like showing you my achievement days so you can kind of track it for records as I started. Now it's going to be, as you can see here, 549 days logged in, where I started Dark Dimension 4 at 516. So been a little bit over a month, taking a lot of time with the city node. So as always, you guys, do appreciate you checking out my videos, and I'll see you in the next one.